anatomy. So in this we will study about earthworm as well as frog. Clear? Okay. So sorry, cockroach and frog. Earthworm is not present. So Sima. So earthworm, what is the scientific name of earthworm? It is Periplaneta americana. That is the scientific name of earthworm. Sorry, cockroach. Okay. So this cockroach belongs to which species? Which is species is americana, and genus is Periplaneta is the genus. Okay. And class is insecta and phylum is arthropod. So this is about the classification of cockroach. So they are nocturnal animals, nocturnal organisms. What is meant by nocturnal organisms? They are very active at the night times. That is called as nocturnal. Okay, ma? They are very active at the night times. That is, so the food, the searching for food, that happens in the night time. That is called as nocturnal. And they are omnivorous. Omnivorous means, so they are vegetarian also as well as non-vegetarian also. That is, they depends on organisms also for food, and they depend on plants also for food. That is why they are called as omnivorous. And they live in damp places. What is meant by damp places? Moist places and shadow places. This kind of places you can call them as damp places. So color of these cockroaches is either brown or black in color, and bright yellow, red and green colored cockroaches also you can see in the case of tropical regions. Are you able to understand? These many colors you can see. And what about their size? Size varies from 1 by 4th inch to 3 inches. So you should have seen different sizes of cockroaches. You will find very small cockroaches to very big cockroaches also. So their size ranges from 0.6 centimeter to even 7.6 centimeters also. Clear? So morphology. What is meant by morphology? Outer structure. Outer structure is called as morphology. Outer structure. Okay. So the adults are 35 to 53 long. Already he said that it is 0.6 centimeters to 7.6 centimeters longer norma. So one more data he is giving. Adults are about 34 to 55 long. That is 3.4 centimeters to 5.3 centimeters long. So the body of this cockroaches, it is covered by hard brown chitinous exoskeleton. Okay, ma? Human body, we have endoskeleton. No? We have the skeleton part present inside our body. Skeleton is there, no, which is present inside the body. But for cockroaches, you will find a skeleton outside the body, which is called as exoskeleton. Are you able to understand? And here you are seeing this brown color parts, no, ma? So exoskeleton, it is present on the dorsal side also, it is present on the ventral side also. What is meant by dorsal side? Back side. Ventral side means front side. So on both the sides you will see this exoskeleton. Exoskeleton means skeleton which is present on the outside of the body is called as exoskeleton. Clear now? Chitinous. Chitinous means what? So nitrogen containing polysaccharide is called as chitinous. So many times you will get this language. No? This word you will get many times. Chitinous. Chitinous means it is also a carbohydrate or a polysaccharide. But nitrogen is the major component in this one. So nitrogen containing polysaccharide, you can call it as chitinous exoskeleton. Okay, ma? So hard brown chitinous exoskeleton. Sound తక్కువ వస్తుందా? ఓకే, అది పెంచినావా మ్యాక్సిమం? ఓకే. ఓకే మా? సో 1 minute. Okay. So see ma. So in each segment, exoskeleton has hardened plates called sclerites. Are you able to understand? So these sclerites, they are present on the dorsal side also, they are present on the ventral side also. So what is meant by sclerites? So sclerites are the parts of which exoskeleton is made up of. So outer part of this what you call cockroach, it is made up of sclerites. and it is present on the dorsal side as well as on the ventral side. So see here, so a component of exoskeleton is nothing but sclerite. Clear no? So on the dorsal side, these sclerites they are called as tergites. Okay, ma? On the dorsal side, what we name them? On the dorsal side, we name them as tergites. Dorsal side means what? On the back side. Are you able to understand? And on the ventral side, they are called as sternites. Are you able to understand, ma? So see in the figure here, you can find this tergites, no, ma? So they are present on which side? They are present on the dorsal side, on the back side of this cockroach. They are called as tergites. And on the front side, you will find this kind of structures, no? So this kind of structures you can call them as sternites. Okay, and they are present on which side? They are present on the ventral side. That is on the front side of this or the abdominal region part of this cockroach. So this is also important bit. So sclerites you can divide into two types. One is tergites and the second one is called as sternites. So tergites are present on which side? Tergites they are present on the dorsal side, that is on the back side, and sternites they are present on the ventral side, that is on the front side. So they are joined together by a thin and flexible articular membrane, which is also called as arthrodial membrane. Okay, ma? So these tergites and sternites, are you able to understand? So these are called sternites, no, which are present on the front side. That exoskeleton is called sternite, and the dorsal side is called as tergite. So both of them they are connected on the lateral side by a membrane. And what is the name of that membrane? It is a thin and flexible membrane which is called as articular membrane, which is also called as arthrodial membrane also. Are you able to understand? So the body has three regions, ma? Thorax, head, as well as abdomen. So these are the three body parts of this what you call cockroach. Okay. Human body has what? We have head, we have thorax. Clear, no, ma? This region where we respire, that is called as thorax. And we have stomach region also, which is called as abdomen. And below the abdomen, we have legs also. Are you able to understand? But in the case of cockroach, legs are attached to thorax cavity only. Where legs are attached? Legs are attached to thorax cavity. Legs are not separated like us. Okay. So basically, body part we can divide it into only three types. One is head, then head is joined to thorax, and thorax is joined to abdominal cavity. That's it. Okay. Now here in the figure you can see this arthrodial membrane. Where is this arthrodial membrane? This arthrodial membrane is at the lateral side of this cockroach. Lateral side means what? Sideways. This region you can call it the lateral region. So in the lateral region, this arthrodial membrane is present. And this arthrodial membrane, what it will do? It will connect to the dorsal tergites and ventral sternites. And tergites and sternites, both of them you can call it as sclerites. Clear, no? That's it. So now let us see what are these the three parts they are made up of. Okay. So first one, head. So head is in which shape? Head is in triangular shape, in the form of a triangle. Clear? So here in the figure you can see, no, ma? So this is the triangle shape of this cockroach. Shape is somewhat like this, no? Okay. So that is, it is having triangular type of head. So triangular head is formed by 6 fused segments. How many segments are fused together, ma? 6 segments they are fused together and a head will be formed. So what are those segments here? So these are, ma. So labrum, which is called as upper lip. So the next mandibles. So mandibles are responsible for grasping, holding and cutting the food. That is the purpose of mandibles. Clear? Next maxillae, two maxillae. Maxillae are responsible for tasting the food. Clear, Nama? Then hypopharynx, which is also called as tongue, and a labium, which is called as lower lip. So head is made up of these many parts. Okay, and finally a triangular type of structure will be formed. So let us see. So triangular head is formed by 6 fused segments. So it shows great mobility in all directions due to flexible neck. So what is the type of neck they have? Flexible neck. So with the help of that, it can move its head in as many directions and as many angles it wants. Clear? So head bears a pair of thread-like antennae. So in cockroaches, you will find 2 antennae also. No? Clear, no? So a pair of compound eyes. Compound eyes means what? It is a combination of nearly some 2000 very small eyes. So in the eyes, we have only single eye Noma. So we have a single what to call iris, single ciliary muscles are present, single lens is present. But in the case of this cockroaches, it is a combination of 2000 eyes, and 2000 eyes they function together as a single eye. Okay, ma? So therefore brightness is very large. It means any object it can see very brightly. That is the reason it will hunt in the night times. Are you able to understand? But the resolution is very weak. Resolution is very weak means what? Clarity is not so much. We can see the objects very clearly, no, but cockroaches cannot see so clearly. But brightness is very large. They can observe the anything with huge brightness. That is the advantage and disadvantages of compound eyes. Clear, Nama? So many eyes, combination of nearly 2000 eyes. And biting and chewing type of mouth parts. So what is meant by biting and chewing type of mouth parts? We will study here. So see here now. So basically head is made up of totally how many parts? Labrum, which is called as an upper lip. Two mandibles. Mandibles means which are responsible for grasping, holding and cutting the food. Okay, ma? So here in the figure you can see this region, ma? This is called as a mandible. Clear? So this is a labrum which is called as upper lip. Clear? So two maxillae are also present. So this is called as maxillae. And what is the purpose of maxillae, ma? Responsible for tasting the food. ఓకే, చక్కెర ఎక్కువ ఉందో తక్కువ ఉందో షుగరు సాల్ట్ ఇవన్నీ దాంతో టెస్ట్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట మ్యాక్సిలీ. సో హైపోఫారింగ్స్. హైపోఫారింగ్స్ ఇస్ అ టంగ్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద హైపోఫారింగ్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ cockroach. And a labium which is called as a lower lip, it is present here. Okay, so these are the different parts in which head is made up of. Okay, so next coming to thorax cavity. Okay, so thorax is again divided into three types. One is prothorax, second one is mesothorax, and the third one is called as metathorax. So prothorax is the region to which head is connected, and to the head, to the what you call prothorax, mesothorax is connected, and to the mesothorax, the final thorax which is called as metathorax is connected. Are you able to understand, ma? So this prothorax, it gives a very small region which is called as neck also, and it is very small. So a neck-like of structure will be formed, and to the neck-like structure, the head of this cockroach will be attached. Are you able to understand, ma? But it doesn't have a very well differentiated neck like human beings. Human beings has a well differentiated neck, no? But that type of neck is not present. So just this prothorax only, it behaves like a neck, and to that prothorax only, head is attached. Clear, no, ma? So head is connected to a thorax by a neck. So neck means not original neck, just a short extension of the prothorax. Just an extension of the prothorax. So each thoracic segment bears a pair of walking legs. So what is the meaning of this one? So how many thorax cavities are present totally? 3. And each thorax cavity has a pair of legs. Pair means how many? 2. So 3 2s are 6. So totally cockroaches have how many legs now? They have 6 legs. Are you able to understand? So 2 prothorax, 2 legs are attached. 2 mesothorax, 2 legs are attached. And 2 metathorax also, 2 legs are attached. So totally it will have 6 legs. Clear? So in the figure you can find here, ma. So this is the head region of this cockroach. These are the antennae, and this is the prothorax leg, the legs which are attached to the prothorax region. And in mesothorax region also you can find one leg, and in metathorax region also you can find one leg. Similarly on the other side also you will find another 3 legs. Clear? So this region you can call it as the prothorax. Okay, ma? This region of this cockroach, that is prothorax. And the next region up to here, this is called as mesothorax, and the next adjoining region, that is called as metathorax. Are you able to understand? So this is about thorax cavity. So then to the thorax itself, 2 pairs of wings are present. 2 pairs of wings means what? So totally 4 wings are present. Pair means 2 wings, no? 2 pairs means 2 2s are 4 wings are present. So 4 wings. First one it is called as 4 wings, and the second one is called as hind wings. Are you able to understand? It means 4 wings, they are present on the front side. Front side in the self, they are present a bit farther. And behind the 4 wings, that is attached to the next segment, you will find the hind wings. So totally 4 pairs of wings are present. Clear, no, ma? Sorry, 2 pairs of wings are present and 4 wings are present. So 4 wings, Sima. Where these four wings are attached, they are attached to the second thorax, which is called second thorax. Mesothorax region is called as the second thorax. So they are attached to the second thorax, and they are also called as tegmina. Clear, ma? And what is the nature of these four wings? They are opaque. Opaque means what? Opaque means they are not transparent. No, they are not transparent. These wings, they are not transparent. They are dark in color, leathery, and cover the hind wings when at rest. So what is the function of these four wings, ma? Function of four wings is covering the hind wings. Okay. So which are the main wings which are responsible for flight? Hind wings are the wings which are responsible for flight. And these four wings, they protect this hind wings. Are you able to understand? So when you see a cockroach, you will see a dark brown color layer on the body of this exoskeleton noma. That is called as four wings. Okay. And hind wings. And hind wings, where they are attached to the third thorax. Third thorax. Which is the third thorax? Metathorax is the third thorax. So, so they are transparent, they are membranous, and are used in flight. Okay, ma? So when you see a cockroach flying, you can see only these transparent membranes. They are responsible for flight. Okay, ma? So these opaque membranes, they are not responsible for flight. They are responsible only for protection of the hind wings. Understood? No? That's it. So hind wings, that is the wings which are responsible for flight. They are transparent and they are membranous and are used in flight. Okay, ma? This is about a pair of wings. So four wings, where they are attached to the front region of this cockroach. That is, they are attached to mesothorax, and to the metathorax, hind wings are attached. Clear? That's it. So next, abdominal cavity. We are studying about the stomach region, or you can call it as the abdominal cavity. So it is consisting of totally how many segments, ma? It consists of totally 10 segments. And what each segment will perform, this is a very, very important discussion in the case of cockroaches. Are you able to understand, ma? So in females, 7th segment, 8th segment, and 9th segment, sterna. Sterna are also called as segments, ma. Are you able to understand? Segments and sterns both are same. Clear? So 7th segment, 8th segment, and 9th segment, they form a brood pouch. They form a genital pouch. Okay? It means all the genital organs means we know the organs which are responsible for reproduction, and similarly the organs, they are excretory organs. So all these organs you will find in 7th, 8th, and 9th segments. Are you able to understand? So it contains a female, similarly in the female. Now we are discussing about the females, ma. Don't forget about this one. So in females, 7th, 8th, and 9th segments, they form this covering, which is called as a genital covering, which also you can call it as brood pouch or a genital pouch. Okay. So similarly, it contains a female gonopore. Gonopore means what? In a small aperture or a small hole, or a genital pore. Pore means we don't know. Aperture is called as a pore. So it contains female gonopore also. Then spermatical pores also, and collateral glands also. Where in 7th, 8th, and 9th segments. Clear, Dama? So female gonopore means what? A small opening, a small hole which is present. Clear, Nama? Spermatical pores means, so these are responsible for receiving and releasing the sperms to the eggs. So female receives the sperms from male cockroach, Nama. So in this female cockroach, we have spermatical pores. Clear, ma? Which are responsible for capturing the sperms and which are responsible for releasing the sperms to the eggs of the what you call female cockroach for fertilization. Are you able to understand? So, and they have some glands also, which is called as collateral glands. Understood, Nama? So, in female, which segments have these genital pouches, ma? 7th, 8th, and 9th segments have the genital pouches. Clear? So, in males, genital pouch lies at the hind end of the abdomen, bounded dorsally by 9th and 10th terga, and ventrally by 9th sternum. Are you able to understand, ma? In the case of females, segments, 7th segment, 8th segment, and 9th segment, they have this genital pouches. Okay, ma? But in the case of males, it is a bit different here. Okay, ma? So it is present in the end of the abdomen. What is meant by hind end of the abdomen? Hind means last end of the abdomen, bounded dorsally by ninth and 10th segments, or you can call it as the tergites. Are you able to understand? Ma? Dorsally means what? On the front side, on the stomach part. Are you able to understand? Dorsal ante ade kadara. Dorsal means back side, no? Okay. So therefore, on the dorsal side by ninth and dorsal region. Dorsal means back only, no? Ah. So dorsal region by ninth and 10th tergites. So on the back side, ninth and 10th tergites, uh, they form this genital pouches. And on the ventral side again you will have the ninth sternum. Are you able to understand? So it means genital pouch, it is a combination of both the dorsal side as well as on the ventral side. It is present on both sides. But in the case of females, it is not like that. It is present only on one side. Clear, Nama? So here, what is the different segments? It is made up of ninth and 10th terga and ninth sternum. So this is a very important bit which you should remember. Are you able to understand? Okay, ma. Similarly, this genital pouch, it also contains a dorsal anus. So anus is present on which side? Anus means we don't know which is responsible for excretion is called as anus. So anus is present on the dorsal side, on the back side. Clear, Dama? And genital pore, where it is present? Genital pore, it is present on the ventral side, which is also called as a gonopore. And it contains gonapophysis. What is meant by gonapophysis, ma? Just an irregular membrane which surrounds this total genital pouch is called as gonapophysis. Are you able to understand? So here I have written, so irregular chitinous structures which surrounds the gonopore is called as gonapophysis. Are you able to understand, ma? So it is a chitinous structure. Chitinous means already we have studied, no, ma? Nitrogen containing polysaccharide, and it is not regular, it is an irregular structure. Okay, so this irregular structure called gonapophysis, it covers this gonopore. Okay, ma? So therefore in the males, anus is present where? Anus is present on the dorsal side, and the genital pore is present on the ventral side. Okay, and it contains gonapophysis also. So genital pouch is made up of ninth and 10th dorsal terga and ninth sternum on the ventral side. Clear? That's it. Okay. So in both sexes, 10th segment bears a pair of jointed appendage which is called as anal cerci. Clear, Nama? So in the figure you can find here this anal cerci, this one. This structure which you are seeing here, this is called as anal cercus. Cercus is the singular form, cerci is the plural form. This means this anal cerci you can find both in males also as well as in female cockroaches also. And what is the function of this cerci, ma? Function of this cerci is for detection of vibrations, and they are wind sensitive also. Are you able to understand, ma? It means they are what you call, they are responsible for sensation, sensory organs they are. Are you able to understand? So where these anal cerci they are present? They are present on the 10th segment. Are you able to understand? And it is present both in males also as well as in females also. See here, this is the anal cerci. Are you able to understand? Both present in both males as well as females. Next, males bear a pair of short thread-like anal styles. Okay, ma? But in males we have another structure which is called as anal styles. Okay, ma? And what is the help of this anal styles, ma? See here, this is the anal style. Okay, and this anal style, where you find anal style, you will find only in the case of male cockroaches, because these are the parts which are responsible for copulation. Are you able to understand? For reproduction process, this anal styles, they are responsible. So therefore, males and females both have anal cerci for sensing the vibrations and direction of winds, and males have anal styles which are responsible for copulation. So then he is giving the differences between male and female cockroaches. Clear, no? Males, they are larger in size, so they should be, female should be smaller in size. Wings extend beyond the tip of the abdomen. Okay, ma? It means the size of the wings is bigger, and they will extend up to the cavity also. That means they are present extended up to beyond the abdomen also. But in the case of females, the wings are very short and do not extend beyond the tip of the abdomen. Clear, Nama? So abdominal cavity is narrow. Abdominal cavity of female is broad. It means male cockroaches, they are eating very little amount of food, ma. So that is why their abdomen is very narrow. But females are this much broad abdomen, eating lot of food. Okay. So anal styles are present. Anal styles, they are male parts, no, ma. So they are absent in the case of females. Brood pouch, it is absent. Brood pouch is the nature of what you call female for brooding, for breeding. Are you able to understand, ma? Genital pouch is present. Genital pouch and brood pouch, they are not one and the same. Clear, no, ma? But brood pouch also you can call it as genital pouch in the case of females. Are you able to understand? So brood pouch is present in the case of females, and it is absent in the case of males. Okay, that's it. So next, digestive system. So alimentary canal has three parts. What is meant by alimentary canal, ma? For example, in human beings, so the canal which connects the inner parts of our mouth, and directly it goes up to the anus. So this total region we can call it as alimentary canal. Clear, no? Similarly, in the case of cockroaches, alimentary canal we can divide them into three parts. One is the foregut, second one is the midgut, and the third one is called the hindgut. Foregut means the gut region or the digestive system which is present in the front part. Midgut means which is present in the middle, and hindgut means which is present on the back side. So starting from mouth up to here, this is called as foregut. Are you able to understand, ma? And from here to here, this region is called as hindgut, and the region from here to up to this total ending, this is called as hindgut. Okay, so these are the three parts of which alimentary canal is made up of. Are you able to understand? Starting from mouth to here, so here you are seeing this. What is this region? Hepatic KC. You are seeing, no, ma? Up to this hepatic KC, this is called as foregut, and the region between hepatic KC and this Malpighian tubules, that is called as hindgut. Midgut. And from this Malpighian tubules up to the anus, that we can call it as the hindgut. So these are the three parts. Now let us see each of them in detail. Clear, Noma? So foregut. Foregut is lined by cuticle. So this is one important point. So where you find this cuticle you will find in plants also. No? Are you able to understand? A thin waxy substance is called as cuticle, which is responsible for stopping the transpiration of water. That is called as cuticle. No? Cuticle was present on the stems of the plants and on the surfaces of the leaves. So cuticle was absent in stems. But here, this foregut, it has a layer which is called as cuticle. So ikkada kuda oka cuticle undanamata. So then this foregut includes how many parts, ma? Mouth. Mouth is extended to pharynx. Pharynx is extended to esophagus. Esophagus is extended to crop, and crop is extended to gizzard. So these are the different parts which are present in the foregut. Clear, Nama? So in the figure you can see this region is called as the mouth. Okay, ma? So mouth is connected to pharynx, and what is meant by pharynx? So it is a hollow tube that starts behind the nose. In the case of human beings also we have a pharynx. Nose is connected to a tube, no, ma? That tube you can call it as the pharynx. Clear, no? And pharynx is again connected to esophagus. What is meant by esophagus? It is a muscular tube connecting the mouth and the stomach. So in between mouth and stomach we have a very strong muscular elongating tube. Okay, ma? ఎప్పుడన్నా హ్యూమన్ బాడీ స్ట్రక్చర్ చూసింటారు కదా మీరు, ఇక్కడ ఒక ట్యూబ్ ఉంటుంది. దట్ ట్యూబ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as esophagus, and it is a very strong tube. It is a muscular tube. Clear, Nama? Then this esophagus again opens into a crop. And what is meant by crop here? See, here the parts are present. So this is the pharynx. Mouth is open into pharynx. Pharynx is connected to esophagus. This region we can call it as esophagus, ma? And esophagus is again connected to crop. And what is the function of this crop? Function of this crop is to store the food material. Okay, and a crop is again connected to this small yellow region which is called as gizzard. Okay, and what is the gizzard? You are able to see, no, this small region is called as gizzard. Clear? And what is the function of this gizzard? Digestion. For grinding of this food, this gizzard is responsible. Okay, ma? So these many parts, they make the foregut. So what are the different parts? Mouth, pharynx, esophagus, crop, and gizzard. Clear, no, ma? So gizzard helps in grinding of the food. It has an outer layer of thick circular muscles and a thick inner cuticle forming 6 chitinous plates. You can also call them as teeth. Okay. So this gizzard, this small region which you are seeing here, this small region is called as gizzard. Are you able to understand, ma? And what is the function of this gizzard? Already we discussed, no, grinding of food material. So there is an outer layer of thick circular muscles. So that is on the outside of this gizzard, thick circular muscles are present, and there is some thick inner cuticle also. That is on the inside of this gizzard, you will find a cuticle which is very thick, and it has some teeth also, which is in the form of 6 chitinous plates. And these plates, they are responsible for cutting and grinding the food. Understood, Amma? So up to here, that is the function of the foregut. Now we are studying about the midgut. Midgut starts from where? Midgut starts from the gizzard, up to from the ending of the gizzard, up to the Malpighian tubules. Already we discussed, no? So it is not lined by cuticle. So that is a thin layer. It is present only on the where? Only on the foregut, and cuticle you don't find in the midgut. So 6 to 8 tubules, hepatic or gastric caseae, are seen at the junction of foregut and midgut. They secrete the digestive juices. Okay, ma? So here you are seeing some thread-like structures called hepatic caseae, no? Are you able to understand, ma? So this hepatic caseae, they are responsible for what? They are responsible for secreting the digestive juices. Are you able to understand? So at the junction where they are present, ma? They are present at the junction of foregut and midgut. That means at the foregut, these what you call tubules, they are present. And how many tubules are present? 6 may be present, 7 may be present, 8 may be present. And the function is secreting the digestive juices. So at the junction of midgut and hindgut, they are 150 to 100 to 150 yellow colored thin filamentous Malpighian tubules. So at the end of midgut. End of midgut means what? End of midgut, their hindgut will start, no, ma? So in between both of them, you will have Malpighian tubules. And how many Malpighian tubules are there? 100 to 150 Malpighian tubules are present. And these Malpighian tubules, they are responsible for excretion. They are responsible for excretion. Okay. So therefore, this total region in between these two red color lines, this we can call it as the midgut. Okay. That's it. Okay. Then discussing about hindgut. That is the last part of the gut. And what is called as hindgut? This region between the Malpighian tubules and this anus, that is called as hindgut. So it is broader than midgut and lined internally by cuticle. So it means its size is bigger. When compared to the midgut, size of the hindgut is bigger. That's what you can see, ma here. This yellow color tube, this is very thin, no, in the case of midgut. But here in the case of this this yellow color tube, it is very big in size. Diameter is very large. Clear, no? So therefore it is broader than midgut, and here also you will find a cuticle. But cuticle is present on the inside of this hindgut. Are you able to understand, ma? So cuticle, where it is present? It is present in the foregut also. It is present in the hindgut also. But in the middle gut, that is in the midgut, you don't find any cuticle. And cuticles, they are present on the inside or outside? They are present on the inside also. Even in the foregut, in the case of gizzard, these cuticles were present inside, and to the cuticle, this chitinous teeth were present. Okay, ma? And here also in the case of hindgut also, you will find cuticles, but they are also present on the inside. Okay. So hindgut includes ileum, colon, and rectum. So these are the three parts of which hindgut is made up of. Clear nama? So one is ileum, second one is colon, and the third one is called as rectum. So this region which you are seeing here, sima. So a very small tube you are seeing nama, which is attached to the Malpighian tubules. To the Malpighian tubules, you are seeing a very small tube, no? That small tube is nothing but ileum. Okay, ma? And to the ileum, colon will be attached, and to the column, this rectum will be attached, and rectum opens out to the outside with the help of anus. Clear, nama? That's it. So, small narrow tubular part is nothing but ileum, and colon, how we defined, highly coiled structure. Okay, ma? All these are excretory regions, that's it. Clear, nama? So, highly coiled structure is called as colon. It means it is coiled like anything. Okay, and rectum opens out through what? Rectum opens out through anus. So even in human beings also same case we find. We too have a rectum, we too have a anus. Clear? That's it. So next we are discussing about circulatory system. So what kind of circulatory system is present here? Open type of circulatory system. What is meant by open type of circulatory system? Open type of circulatory system means what? Open type of circulatory system means blood vessels, veins, veinlets, they are not present. Are you able to understand, ma? So just blood is thrown into open spaces, and this open spaces only you will have heart, all this which are bathed in the blood. Clear, ma? So this type of structure is called as open circulatory system. Human beings have what kind of system? We have closed system. Okay, ma? We have arteries, veins, veinlets are present. Okay, so blood is not thrown into open spaces. So vessels are absent in this condition. That is why they are called as open type. So blood vessels are poorly developed and open into a space, okay, ma, which is called hemocoel. Okay. So this region which you are seeing here, this is called as hemocoel. So blood is thrown into these regions. That's it. Clear, ma? And that region we can call it as hemocoel. And here blood vessels are not highly developed, ma, they are poorly developed. Okay. So visceral organs. What is meant by visceral organs? The sensitive parts, heart, kidneys, lungs, all them you can call them as visceral organs. So visceral organs located in the hemocoel are bathed in blood. And that, what is the name of the blood? Blood is called as hemolymph. Okay, ma? Hemocoel, you should not be confused here. Hemocoel means the open spaces into which blood is thrown. And this blood, name of the blood is called as hemolymph. And in this, what you call open regions, visceral organs are present, which are taking a bath in the blood. Okay, ma? So, hemolymph, this blood consists of what? It consists of colorless plasma and hemocytes. Okay, so hemolymph is the name of the blood, and the blood contains plasma. We have many types of organelles in our blood. We have RBCs, WBCs, neutrophils, all these are present. And but in the case of cockroaches, the majority compounds are, one is plasma, that is the liquid, major component of liquid of blood, and hemocytes. So these are the cells which are responsible for protecting the cockroach from external viruses and external bacteria, which is called as the part of immune system. Okay. So what is meant by hemocytes? They are responsible for uh, developing the immune system of the cockroach. Understood, Nama? That's it. Okay. Then heart. So heart consists of elongated muscular tube lying along mid dorsal line of thorax and the abdomen. Okay. So where is this heart present, ma? First of all, it is an elongated muscular tube. Okay. It consists of an elongated muscular tube. Elongated means which is stretched. Muscular means it is made up of muscles. Muscular tube lying along mid dorsal line of thorax. So is it present on the front side or is it present on the back side? It is present on the back side. Clear, number? Dorsal line of thorax and the abdomen. Are you able to understand? It means there is a line on the dorsal side passing through the thorax and the abdomen. So in that line you can find this heart. So heart is present on the dorsal side for the case of cockroach. And it is connecting the thorax also, it is connecting the abdomen also. Okay. So it has funnel shaped chambers with ostia on either side. Okay, ma? So this heart has what kind of chambers? We do have chambers, Roma. We have two auricles and two ventricles. Similarly, the cockroach also have chambers, but what is the shape of the chambers? Funnel shaped chambers with oostia on either. So oostia means small holes, small openings, small porous apertures. They are called as oostia. Okay. So heart of cockroach has 13 contractile chambers with apertures called oostia. So how many chambers are present in the heart of a cockroach? 13 chambers are present. Okay, and each chamber has some openings which is called as oostia. So blood is pumped into the heart through this oostia from a region which is called as sinus. Okay, so through the sinus, heart is pumped into the blood is pumped into the heart via with the help of these holes which is called as oostia. Are you able to understand? And this heart, again it pumps the blood into the sinuses or the gaps, again with the help of oostia. This is what is happening. Are you able to understand? So, blood from sinuses means openings in the body. Clear, ma? Sinuses enter heart through oostia and is pumped anteriorly to sinuses once again. So, sinuses pump the blood to heart through oostia. Blood will pump heart will pump blood to sinuses again through oostia. So that is the arrangement of circulatory system of this cockroach. Understood, Nama? Then we are studying about respiratory system, how they will respire, how gaseous exchange is taken place. Clear, Nama? So it consists of a network of trachea that open through 10 pairs of small holes called spiracles present on the lateral side of the body. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore, we have lung system, no, ma? Human beings, we have what kind of system? We have a lung system. So into the lungs, air enters, and there we have alveoli, and it is made up of epithelial cells. All we have studied, no? And through these epithelial cells, carbon dioxide is taken by the lungs again, and oxygen is pumped into the blood by a process called diffusion process. But here there is no such a complex phenomenon. So total body of this cockroach, it has small tubes which is called as a trachea. Are you able to understand? And where you find this trachea? Sema. So here you are finding this small region, no? This region. This region is called as trachea. Okay. And trachea, so you can say that trachea is like this. So this is the arrangement of trachea. Okay. And to this trachea, again, it is divided into small gaps or small holes, which is called as spiracles. Are you able to understand, ma? So trachea has again extensions or gaps, and what are those gaps? They are called as spiracles. And it travels through these spiracles, and again each spiracle is divided into many tracheoles. Tracheoles. So what you call veins and veinlets we have, no, ma? Veins are further divided into veinlets. Similarly, trachea is again divided into tracheoles. That's it. Clear, no? So let us see what is the function of this one. So it consists of a network of trachea that open through 10 pairs of small holes called spiracles. So what is these holes? They are called as spiracles. Are you able to understand, ma? Present on the lateral side of the body. So the thin branches of tracheal tubes, they are called as tracheoles. Okay. So they carry oxygen from air to all the body parts. So in this tracheoles only, you can see the gaseous exchange to be taken place, and the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere, it is taken by these tracheoles and it is supplied to different parts of the body. Understood, Dama? So the opening of spiracles is again regulated by another system which is called as sphincters. Are you able to understand? So the opening and closing of these spiracles. What is meant by spiracles? The gaps through which tracheoles they will travel are the gaps through which trachea opens to the lateral side of the body, to the sideways of the body. That is called as what you call spiracles, Nama. So these closing and opening of spiracles, it is again controlled by another mechanism which is called as sphincters. Understood, no? So gaseous exchange takes place in the tracheoles by diffusion concept. So everywhere gaseous exchange takes place by diffusion only, no? Even in human body you can find through diffusion only gaseous exchange will takes place. Understood now? So therefore, understood the structure now, what is happening here? So this is the cockroach and this is the trachea which is present. So trachea opens into, what is the name of the trachea opens into spiracles. Clear nama? So these small tubes, they are called as spiracles, small openings. And how many spiracles are present? 10 pairs of spiracles are present. Are you able to understand? And in each spiracle, again you will find small tracheoles. Tracheoles are present. So in the figure you can see my here. So this region you can call it as the trachea. Clear no? And this region, this is called as the spiracle. And at the end of a spiracle, you can find this tracheoles. Understood no? And through this tracheoles only, gaseous exchange will take place. Understood Amma, clearly? That's it. So that is the respiratory system of this, what you call cockroach. Okay. Next, coming to excretory system. So they are uricotelic. What is meant by uricotelic? So they release the waste to the atmosphere in the form of uric acid. Then they are called as uricotelic. And uric, what is the main component of uric acid? Ma? Nitrogen is the main compound of uric acid. Are you able to understand? So they are also called as a nitrogenous waste also. Okay, ma? So uric acid is also called as nitrogenous waste also. So these Malpighian tubules and all these excretory systems, they convert these waste materials into uric acid, and that uric acid is released into the atmosphere with the help of anus through rectum. Clear no? That's it. So excretory organ is Malpighian tubules. So how many Malpighian tubules are present? 100 to 150 Malpighian tubules are present. Already we have studied no? So each tubule means what? Each Malpighian tubule. So where we have Malpighian tubules, ma? Here I have Malpighian tubules, no? Clear, no? So these eight longitudinal connectives on the ventral side. So these ganglions, they are present on which side, ma? Group of nerves, they are present on which side? They are present on the ventral side. Ventral side means on the front region. Dorsal side it is called as back region. Okay. So three ganglion lie in the thorax and six lie in the abdomen. So already we studied that the body of cockroach we can divide into three parts. Nama. First one is called as head, second one is called as thorax, and the third one is called as abdomen. Already we have studied. No? So therefore, in the thorax, how many ganglion you can find? In the thorax, you can find the three ganglion, and in the abdomen, you can find the six ganglion. So that is this is the thorax region, Nama. So in this region, you can find three ganglion, and in the abdominal region, you can find the six ganglion. So group of nerves. Are you able to understand? So the head only holds a bit of nervous system. Remaining part is situated along the ventral part of the body. So it means head consists of only small part of nervous system. Remaining total part it is present on the ventral side of the body. So if the head of the cockroach is cut off, it will still live for 1 week. So this is a very important point. Already you should have studied, Nama. Are able to understand? So even if you cut the head of a cockroach also, it has the ability to live for some 6 to 7 days. Are able to understand? Because the major part of the nervous system, it is not connected to head. It is connected only to the ventral region of the cockroach. So that is the reason why it can survive even for 1 week, even if you cut the head of the cockroach. Clear, no? So the supraesophageal ganglion, which is connected to the brain, supplies nerves to antennae as well as the compound nerves. So compound eyes. So this is one important point which you should remember. Are you able to understand more? So the nervous system which is connected to antennae, the head region which has some antennae, Noma. So antennae as well as the compound eyes. And how many pairs of eyes are present, Ma? So 2000 small eyes they are present, and they are combined to form compound eyes in the case of this cockroach. Are you able to understand? So what is this ganglion called as? This is called as supraesophageal ganglion. So this is the ganglion which is supplied to antennae as well as the compound eyes. So these are the points which you should remember here. So in this slide, what are the points which you should remember? How many ganglion are present in the thorax? 3. How many are present in the abdomen? 6. So why it is able to survive even when head is cut off? Because head doesn't contain majority of the nerves. Clear, no? And which is the ganglion which is connected to antenna as well as the compound eyes? It is called as the supraesophageal ganglion. Clear? Next. So sense organs. What are the sense organs which are present in this cockroach? So a pair of antennae. So compound eyes, maxillary pulps. So what is the function of this maxillary pulps? Function of maxillary pulps is for tasting the food. Tasting of the food material, that is the function of this maxillary pulps. Clear, no? Labial pulps. Labrum we have studied. Now what is meant by labrum? Lower part of the lip is called as labrum. So labial pulp is nothing but lower lip of the. Already we studied that head of the cockroach is made up of 6 different parts. No? So out of this labial part is also one part. Clear, no? Next, anal cerci, etc. So anal cerci is also one sense organ. So previously we have studied the diagram of this cockroach. No? For example, if this is the body of the cockroach, here you can find this anal cerci. Okay. So what is the use of this anal cerci? చదువుకున్నాం ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పండి. What is the ఇక్కడే రాసింది చూడండి. What is the function of anal cerci? So it is wind sensitive and it is vibration sensitive. Already we have studied, no? So it is able to sense the direction of the winds and it is also able to send the vibrations which are produced at its surroundings. So this is the function of anal cerci. Clear? So these are some of the sense organs which are present in the cockroach. What are the organs? Antennae, eye, maxillary pulps, labial pulps and anal cerci. These are the regions. Clear, no? So sensory receptors of antennae monitor the environment. So what is the function of antennae? Two antennae will be present, no? What is the function of antennae in the case of cockroach? They are responsible for supervising the environment or monitoring the environment. That is the function of antennae. Each compound eye consists of 2000 hexagonal omatidia. Each small eye you can call it as one omatid. Are you able to understand? So how many combination of simple eyes will be present? 2000 eyes will be present. So already chadina memora idi chadinattunnam kada. Okay. So using this, a cockroach can receive several images of the object. This is called as mosaic vision. Are you able to understand? So the total image which is present in front of the eyes of this cockroach, it is split into many small what you call images. Are you able to understand? For example, one picture if you take, this picture if you divide into 2000 parts. Clear, no? So each part will be received by each simple eye. Okay, and all of them a blurred type of image will be created. Are you able to understand? So what is the disadvantage of this compound eyes? Resolution will be very less. That is the disadvantage. So you can write here. So what is the disadvantage of compound eyes? Is what? Disadvantage is that the resolution means what? Clarity reduced. So resolution is very less. So that is the what you call the disadvantages of this compound eyes. But there is one advantage also. What is that? What is the advantage? Advantage is that nocturnal vision. This is the advantage. Nocturnal vision. Nocturnal vision means what? They are able to see even at the night times also. So this is the advantage of simple eyes and compound eyes. We have simple eyes or compound eyes? We have simple eyes, no? So what is the advantage and disadvantage of simple eyes? Advantage ఏమంటుంది చెప్పండి? Advantage is that the image which is produced in our eye is very clear. Image చాలా clear గా ఉంది. But we cannot see the same image in the case of night times. So that is one disadvantage. So brightness will be lesser, but resolution will be greater. Clear, no? So therefore, this type of vision, what you call it? This type of vision you can call it as mosaic vision. So that is the formation of one image due to combination of several images. So it has more sensitivity but less resolution, being common during night. Hence they are called as nocturnal vision. Understood now? That's it. So then coming to the male reproductive system of this cockroach. So see how many parts they are present here, Seema. So first one, this is the testis. Okay. So what is the function of testis, ma? Production of sperms. Sperms are produced here. Okay, ma? What is the purpose of this phallic gland? Here you can find this phallic gland. What is the purpose of this phallic gland, ma? Purpose of phallic gland, still we don't know. Why this phallic gland is present in this cockroach, still we doesn't know more clearly about this one. So question will not be asked on this one. So function is still unknown. Okay. Then there are small tubules which are present here in this seminal vesicle. Long tubules are also present in the same seminal vesicles. What is meant by seminal vesicle, ma? Seminal vesicle means what? So this is the region where the direction of sperm and the maintenance of sperm is maintained here. Are you able to understand, ma? Sperms should move in one particular direction, no? So that direction of sperm as well as the quality of the sperm and the protection of the sperm and nourishment of the sperm, it is done by this seminal vesicle. Are you able to understand, ma? I think somewhere we have studied already, no, ma? If you have not studied, you can write down here. So what is the purpose of seminal vesicles, ma? To maintain direction of sperm, okay, ma? And nourishment also to sperm. Okay. And also in the case of cockroach, single sperm will not be present. Group of sperms will be present always. Are you able to understand? So in the case of what you call cockroach, sperms are combined into some groups. So this grouping is also done in the case of this seminal vesicles. Are you able to understand? So one more function is what, ma? Grouping of what? Grouping of sperms. This is also done in the case of seminal vesicles. Okay. Then we have vas deferens. Okay, ma? What is the purpose of this vas deferens? This is just a transporting tube. That's it. Okay, ma? So at the time of what you call ejaculation, so the sperms, they will travel through this vas deferens and they are ejaculated. That is the purpose of vas deferens. Clear? Then we have ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct means we know, no? So this is the pipe through which sperms will be ejaculated from the male cockroach. Okay, ma? Then we have phallomeres. What is meant by phallomeres? Already we have studied, no, ma? It is a unorganized membrane of polysaccharides. This is called as a what you call a phallomere. So what is meant by phallomere? Phallomere means unorganized. Ramendra, lacking. Charging better. Charging పెట్టకుండానే క్లాస్ చెప్తా ఉన్నాము మనము. You are able to see, Nama? So ejaculatory duct we have studied. Now we are studying about phallomeres. So unorganized chitinous membrane, okay, ma? Surrounding the genital parts. That is called as phallomere. Are you able to understand, ma? So phallomere, what is meant by phallomere? It is a membrane or chitinous membrane or membrane made up of polysaccharides. So which surrounds the genital parts. So cockroaches, they have genital parts, no? Parts which are responsible for excretion, parts which are responsible for reproduction. So all these parts, they are covered by a membrane which is called as phallomere. And this phallomere we can divide into three types. Okay, so it is not mentioned in NCERT, just for our understanding I have written here. Phallomeres you can divide it into left phallomere, right phallomere as well as ventral phallomere. Clear, no? So left phallomere, again it has two parts. First part is called titillator and the second one is called as pseudopenis. So these are the two parts which are present in the left phyllomeer. Are you able to understand ma? One is the slender arm with a curved hook, which is the curved arm with the uh, slender arm with the curved hook ma? This one. Here you are able to see in this figure, no? This one. This one is called as the titillator. Clear? And the second part, which is again which is present in this left phyllomeer, this is called as this pseudopenis. So it is in the shape of some hammer type of body, no ma? Hammer laga undi kada, that is called as a pseudopenis. So short, broader arm with black hammer like a head. That is the description of a pseudopenis. Okay. So this titillator and pseudopenis, both of them where they are present in the left phyllomeer. And we have right phyllomeer also, we have a ventral phyllomeer also. So this is about phylomeres. Understood, Nama? So if question is asked on this phylomeres, just question will be asked only on this regions only. Okay, so that's it. So this is the right phyllomeer, okay, a chitinous membrane, and there is a ventral phyllomeer, and they have this anal sepsis. Okay, ma? So this one we can call it as anal sepsis. And what is meant by anal sepsis already we have studied, Nama? It is wind sensitive as well as vibration sensitive. Then we have a anal style which is also called as a caudal style. Okay, and what is the function of this anal style or caudal style, ma? It is responsible for detecting the motion of this female cockroach. Female cockroach etu move avutundi ani kanukodaniki idi use avutundi anamata. So that it is responsible for helping the cockroach in copulation. Are you able to understand? So that is the function of this anal style or caudal style. Okay, so coupling of cockroaches, somewhere the diagram is present, you know, ma? Let us see. See ma, here. See how cockroaches they are mating with each other. So two tails are joined together, no ma? Parallelogram rule of addition. What is meant by parallelogram rule of addition? Tails and tails they are joined together, no? So similarly, cockroaches they meet like this. Clear, no? So they mate or they couple like this. And for finding the position of this female, which is the part which is responsible, ma? So this caudal style or anal style, this is responsible. Are you able to understand? It detects the motion of the female cockroach so that it can mate with that female cockroach. That is the purpose of this anal style, or it is also called as a caudal style. అర్థమవుతున్నాయి కదా? So all these parts you need not remember out of NCERT, just for your understanding I am saying. Clear, Nama? So see here. So motion detectors. What is this anal style called as, ma? They are motion detectors which helps in copulation. That is the function of this caudal style. Now see. So therefore, see here also I have written phyllomeere means what? Chitinous asymmetrical structure acting as external male genitalia which surrounds male gonopore. Gonopore is nothing but the hole or the aperture which is present, that is called as gonopore. So surrounding this male genitalia you can find this phyllomeere. So then male reproductive system is consisting of their four parts. Now these are the very important parts which you should remember very carefully. First one is a pair of testes. Second one is seminal vesicles. Third one is accessory glands. And the fourth one is called the external genitalia. And around this external genitalia only you can find this phylomeres. Understood now? Okay. Now let us see the function of each of them. Seminal vesicles already we have studied, Nama. They are responsible for what? They are responsible for maintaining the direction of the sperms and forming group of sperms called spermatophores. What is this group of sperms called as? Spermatophores. Sima, in the case of other organisms, sperms they are independent. They are not grouped together. But in the case of cockroach, spermatophores are present, which is called a group of sperms. Clear, Nama? Next we have accessory glands. What is the function of this accessory glands, ma? So they secrete substances forming this sperm capsule. What is meant by sperm capsule? A group of sperms they are present in this spermatophores, no? So this capsule is manufactured by whom? This capsule is manufactured by this accessory gland. And in this accessory gland, once again, we have two glands, ma. So somewhere it is present, see here. So accessory gland, it has again two glands. One is a mushroom gland and the second one is also phallic gland. Understood, Nama? So accessory gland again, it has two glands, which is called mushroom gland and a phallic gland. They are responsible for producing the capsule of the sperms, and they are also responsible for nourishing the sperm cells. Okay, ma? Nourishing means what? Keeping the sperms alive. That is called as nourishment. So even in human body also, when sperms are released into the male human being, sperms can live up to 72 hours. Do you know this? Sperms, they can live up to 72 hours also. Are you able to understand? So similarly, in the case of this male reproductive system, for making the sperms to be alive, these accessory glands, that is mushroom gland and phallic gland, both are responsible. Similarly, seminal vesicles are also, they are responsible. Seminal vesicles also we have studied, Nama. They are also responsible for maintaining the sperms. Fine. Let us go to the next one. Next, external genitalia. We know all the external genitalia, no? So all the parts which are present in this phallomeres, they are called as external genitalia. That's it. Okay. Next. So testis. Where is the arrangement of this testis? Where this testis is present, it is present in 4th to 6th abdominal segments. Okay. So totally we have 10 segments, no? Out of this total 10 segments, where testis is present in the 4, 5 and 6th segments. So now let us see the passage of this sperms, how sperms they pass from one organ to another organ. First they are produced in the testis, then they enter into vas deferens, a tube-like structure. Then they enter into seminal vesicles, where nourishment will take place. Then they enter into this ejaculatory duct. So here you are seeing this yellow color duct, Noma. This yellow color duct, this is called as ejaculatory duct. Clear, Noma? And through this ejaculatory duct, it enters into the aperture of this cockroach. Hole of this cockroach, or opening, which is also called as male gonopore. Understood, no? So this sequence also you are supposed to remember, because this is the sequence which is given in terms of NCERT. Clear, Nama? So from testis it enters into vas deferens, then it enters into seminal vesicles, then it enters into ejaculatory ducts, then it enters into male gonopore. That's it. So seminal vesicles, to store the terms, to store sperms also, seminal vesicles are responsible. Similarly, sperms are glued together also to form bundles which are called as spermatophores, and they are discharged during copulation. So here I got one more point, Rama. For storing of sperms also, seminal vesicles are responsible. Understood? No? That's it. Okay. So then accessory glands. Already we have studied about accessory glands. They include mushroom gland and they include phallic gland. What is the work of phallic gland? Still 100% we don't know. Okay. But we know that their secretions are responsible for nourishing the sperms. Okay. So external genitalia, which is also called male gonopophysis or phallomeres. So this also we have studied. Chitinous asymmetrical structures surrounding the male gonopore. Clear, Nama? Then coming to female reproductive system. Okay. So it has two large ovaries. What is meant by ovaries? What is the function of ovaries here? Ovaries they are responsible for producing the eggs. Eggs are produced in the ovaries. Clear, Nama? Then we have oviducts connecting to the ovaries. Oviducts are small tubes are present through which this sperms can travel. Then we have spermatheca, then genital chamber and collateral glands. So these are the parts which are present in the case of female reproductive system. Understood, Nama? So this is the shape of this ovary. Ovaries, they appear like this. So they are appearing like some leaf-like structure, Nama. So that is the shape of this ovaries. And the tube which is connecting this ovary, it is called as oviduct. Okay, ma? Then this oviduct, it enters into common oviduct. It means both the oviducts, it enters into a common tube, which is also called as vagina. Clear, Nama? Then we have collateral glands also, which are responsible for secretions. Clear, Nama? Then here this structure, this region, we can call it as the genital chamber. Clear, Nama? Then vestibulum, next structure, and both of them it is called as genital pouch. Clear, no? So these are the different structures which are present in the female reproductive system of the cockroach. Understood, no? So which are the parts which are present, ma? So two large ovaries are present, oviducts they are present, spermatheca is present. What is the function of spermatheca, ma? The function of spermatheca is again to store the sperms. Okay, ma? The sperms which are released by the male, they are stored in the body of the female in this small sac-like structure which is called as spermatheca. Understood, no? Then we have the genital chamber, clear, no, ma? Then collateral glands are also present. Okay, understood what is happening? So ovaries are connected to oviducts. How many ovaries are there? Two ovaries. So two ovaries are connected to two oviducts. So both the oviducts, they enter into a common ovitube. Okay, and that is called as, also called as vagina. Then these glands, they are also present. Now let us see what is the function of each of them. Okay, so see here. So here ovaries lie laterally in the 2 to 6 abdominal segments. Okay, ma? Testes, where they were present, ma? 4, 5, 6 segments. So this one you should not be confused. So over testes, they were present in 4, 5, 6, but ovaries, they are present in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments. 2 to 6 segments. Clear, no? So each ovary is composed of 8 ovarian tubules. Are you able to understand, ma? Containing a chain of developing ova. So each ovary is consisting of how many tubules, Magi? So they have 8 ovarian tubules in which you can find the eggs which are developed here. Understood, no? And these eggs, they are also called as ova. Ovum also you can call it as. Clear? So oviducts of each ovary unite into a single median oviduct. Already we have studied, which is also called as vagina, which opens into the genital chamber. Already we have studied all of this. Clear, Nama? So a pair of spermatheca. What is meant by spermatheca? Sperms are stored after mating. So a pair of spermatheca is present in 6th segment, which opens into the genital chamber. Understood, Nama? So therefore, this is another important bit which you should remember. So what is the positioning of spermatheca, ma? Spermatheca, it is present where? It is present in the 6th segment. Clear, no? That's it. So sperms are transferred through spermatophores. So their fertilized eggs are encased oothake. Okay, ma? See, ma, here in the case of this cockroach, a group of eggs will form a pouch. Are you able to understand? And the name of this pouch is called as oothake, which is the plural form of this one. Are you able to understand? So here this black color structure which you are finding here, this is called as an oothake. Clear? So oothaka is dark reddish to blackish brown capsule, which is approximately 8 millimeters long. So females lay 9 to 10 oothake and each contain 14 to 16 eggs. Understood, no? So cockroaches, they doesn't release eggs as a single egg. Why? Because sperms are not released as a single sperm, no? Group of sperms are released. Are you able to understand? So group of eggs also will be present. Are you able to understand what is happening? And this group of eggs, we can call it as an oothake. And how many oothake will be released? Nearly 9 to 10 oothake will be released, and each oothake may contain 14 to 16 eggs. Clear? That's it. So here you can find this one. So this is the structure of this oothake, and each of them represents an egg. Clear, no? So from which this nymphs will develop. What is meant by nymph? Sima, we have some types of development. Direct development is present. Indirect development is present. What is meant by direct development? Human beings are indirect development. పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచే ప్రతి పాటు ఉంటుంది కదా మీకు, లేదా రెండు కాళ్ళు రెండు చేతులు అట్లే, ఒక కాలే ఒక చెయ్యి అట్లే ఉండదు కదా. సో వీఆర్ డైరెక్ట్ డెవలప్మెంట్. క్లియర్ అమ్మా? ఇండైరెక్ట్ డెవలప్మెంట్ మీన్స్ పాసింగ్ త్రూ ఎయిదర్ larval stage or passing through either nymph stage. And where you find this nymph stage you will find in cockroach. Are you able to understand, ma? So it means this nymph stage means that is a stage where it is underdeveloped cockroach. Shape will be just like a cockroach only. Nymph also, it looks like a cockroach only, but the parts are not highly developed. So that type of indirect development we can call it as nymph stage. And nymph stage you can find in cockroach. Understood now what is happening? And through a process called molting. Through a process called molting. What is meant by molting? Shedding of the old skin, shedding of the old feathers, shedding of the old hairs. That process is called as molting. And similarly, nearly some 13 times this cockroach will molt. Okay, ma? It means the old structures they are released, and finally it becomes into a fully grown cockroach. So this is the development of a cockroach. Understood, Noma? So see here. So development of Periplanata americana is parometabolous. What is meant by parometabolous? It means it has a nymph stage. Nymphal stage is present. So nymph looks like adults. They molt 13 times to reach the adult form. So the next to last nymphal stage has wing pads. Are you able to understand, ma? So next to last nymphal stage means what? 12th stage. 12th stage is the next to last, no? So in that 12th stage, we will find some wing pads also. Understood, no? So this also is an important bit here. How many times it will molt, that is also an important point here. And what is the type of development, nymph development, that is also an important point here. Okay, ma? So only adult cockroaches, they have wings. It means in the 12th stage, wing pads are present. Wings are not developed. Where wings are developed after the 13th molting. Then only it is fully developed, and then only it will have fully grown wings. అర్థమవుతుందా difference? So what is the difference between larval stage and nymph stage? Larval stage means the shape of this organism, it is completely different when compared to the fully grown organism. Okay, for example, if you see tadpole of a larva tadpole ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఫిష్ లాగా ఉంటుంది కదా. బట్ ఆఫ్టర్ గ్రోయింగ్ ఇట్ డెవలప్స్ ఇంటూ ఏ ఫుల్లీ గ్రోన్ ఫ్రాగ్. But nymph is a stage where the organism, it just appears like a fully grown organism only in shape and in shape. Understood, Nama? But afterwards it undergoes many molting processes to become fully grown. That's it. So they are pests. Which one we are studying? We are studying about economic importance. Clear, ma? So they are pests because they destroy food and contaminate it with their smelly excreta. Okay, ma? So once cockroaches they roam into the food material will become very smelly because of the releasing of this excreta. Clear, ma? They also transmit bacterial diseases like cholera, typhoid, as well as tuberculosis. Okay, so that's it. That is about cockroach, ma? So tomorrow we will study about the structure of frog and its morphology and its anatomy also. Okay, that's it.